Alright, so the first thing you want to think about when you're finding the area of triangles or rectangles is looking at the different dimensions. Now we could say length, width, or but that kind of changes on your perspective. So let's just call them dimensions. So dimension 1. Well, we know that dimension 1 is 6 meters in this rectangle. And we know that area, that at least the formula, is just the first dimension times the second dimension. A lot of times you hear it called length times width, and that's fine too, whatever you want to call it. In this case, that means it's 18 meters squared. Look how I put the squared sign up there. So I know we're not talking about just one dimension, because otherwise you'd think it's 18 meters long. We're not talking about long. We're talking about squared meters, and that's what we would use to measure area, is square units. Now let's take a look at another rectangle. So the first dimension is 16 yards, second is 28 yards. Same thing as before, it's pretty simple. Just multiply them together and you get 448 yards squared. I'll just say put that there. Now that's pretty good. I think you guys all can get that. It's pretty straightforward. Now the area of triangles, well, basically if you know how to do the area of a rectangle, you can figure out how to do the area of a triangle. So let's say we have a triangle that is 6 by 5 feet. Notice I didn't measure that last side. You only need 2 sides of a triangle to figure out its area. So let's take a look here. Now I'm going to draw those dotted lines in just to pretend. Let's pretend for a second that it's a rectangle. So we'd multiply, because we know 5 times 6, if it was a rectangle, would give us our area, 30 feet squared. But we know it's not a rectangle. It's actually only half of that rectangle, because triangles are always half of some sort of four-sided figure or some sort of parallelogram. So let's take a look at what we could do next. So we take 30 feet squared, and if we just kind of cut that in half or divide it by 2, we'd get 13 feet squared. Now another way to do that, if you don't want to divide your area of that rectangle by 2, you could just multiply it, in this case 30, by 1/2. And you get the same answer. Basically dividing by 2 or multiplying by 1/2 will give you the same number. So the area of this triangle is 15 feet squared. We'll do a little bit different kind of triangle. This one isn't a right triangle, but the same things apply. So you just take one side, multiply it by another side. In this case we get 4,500 millimeters, and then divide it by 2, and you would get 2,250. Or you can multiply that same number by 1/2, and you would still get 2,250, because remember, dividing by 2 or multiplying 1/2 give you this by 1/2 give you the same number. And so our area for this triangle is 2,250 millimeters squared. And that's about it.